I know a lot of people believe that the Tesla Model 3 is the one to beat. I know a lot of people think you need to spend a lot of money on an EV to get a good EV. I am not one of those people that believes in either of those things or that either of those are true. I think Hyundai has really cracked the code for the sweet spot of what an EV can and should be. They've focused on what's important: interior space, refinement, ease of use, charging speed, and not so much on the distractions that Tesla has put upon the industry, which is acceleration and range and acceleration and range and screen sizes and acceleration and range. I like that the Koreans have focused on the actual human factor stuff. I mean, we have actual touch points and buttons for things like climate control. It's, turn signal stalks, they work really well. Aesthetically, this IONIQ 6 is not my kind of car, inside or out. I really like the Prophecy. I like an IONIQ 5 more so in terms of aesthetics and appearance, but there's a reason that the IONIQ 6 exists. The IONIQ 5 is a bit tall, more SUV-like in proportion, and the arrow of a hatch is not going to be the arrow of something shaped like an IONIQ 6. So there's a very good reason this car exists. This is a comfortable sedan, and I have to say it feels probably like it splits the difference between an N and a IONIQ, standard IONIQ. There's something a bit more German feeling about this one. It actually, right down to the location of the window switches. When have you seen that last? We're talking W124, E46, E36. There's definitely German influence in this car, and when I'm driving it, I'm reminded of some of the better old school German cars, which is strange to say when you're in an electric and it's wrapped in all this tech and like sort of future forward design language. So yeah, so short version of what I'm saying here is great car. Aesthetically, not my cup of tea. By the numbers, doesn't make as much sense. Tesla's gonna win on numbers more often than not. But as far as an over-the-road car goes, something to purchase with your own money and live with, it's a hard car not to respect and admire and even adore. I felt like that the first time I drove it. I felt like that each subsequent time I've driven it. And it's one of those cars I think I would be willing to buy despite the way it looks and despite what other people think, not because of the way it looks and not because of what other people think. And I think if you think about how Tesla sells their cars, it's the opposite, right? They go based on appearances and what other people think. So if you spend time behind the wheel of this, you spend the time behind the wheel of like a Model 3 or even a Model S, I think this splits the difference really well between Model 3 and Model S for pretty much less than Model 3 money. And to me, that is, again, a really nice sweet spot to be in. This is just a more pleasant car all around. And I think if you sit in one, spend a few minutes in one, just put your hands on the steering wheel of one, you'll understand what I'm going on about. And if you don't, well, I hope you enjoy your Teslas. I hope your Tesla stock makes you lots of money. But don't try to convince us that they're the ones making the best EVs for the average person. It's just simply not true. I hope this is helpful to someone out there. Let me know what you think.